Hello! Welcome to part 1 of our Miguel Basics Guide. Reminder that we are on Tekken version 4.03. This first video will be going over his essential moves so that you have a good starting point for which moves you should be focusing on. Then in our next video, we'll talk about some basic gameplay approaches. Finally, in part 3, we'll talk about some referential items such as punishers and basic combos. As always, there's a written version of this guide should you need it. The link is in the description below. That's all I have, so let's get started. As usual, we'll save stance talk for part 2, and this will include his full crouch and wall standing moves. 1-2 are standard jabs, although they do have a funky animation, but they do also have cover with 1-2-4, which can be ducked, but it gives a free follow-up on hit, so it hurts a lot if they're mindlessly challenging it. It's scary enough that you'll see 1-2, 1+2 a lot, which is the slower, interruptible, mid plus frames option, although we should note that 1-2-4 can go into Savage with plus on block, but unless your opponent just doesn't know that they can duck it, that's not usually why you want to use it. The 2-1 jabs are similar to normal jabs, but 1 frame slower and more damage. They still jail though, and you can go into Savage. At match speed, it can be really hard to tell whether he's doing 1-2 or 2-1 because jab strings are so quick, so it's really good to mix them up, which then makes them both more powerful. We'll go over more strategy in the next section, but for now, note that down forward 1 is an amazing poke. It's very close to generic, so I-13 mid, -2 on block, +5 on hit. Miguel's is scary because it not only has powerful string options for cover, especially now in Season 4, but a bunch of paths can go into Savage, including down forward 1 by itself. This will be a primary pressure tool you need to use. Both standing 4 and back 1 are safe high counter hit launchers. Back 1 is more common since it's 1 frame faster at I-11 and gives a slightly easier combo, but both are useful for keep out or counter hit setups. 1+2 is a safe, chunky mid that can end in full crouch and also has a second hit for cover. The second hit is -14, but it's also a counter hit launcher. Otherwise, 1+2, 1+2 is a natural combo. Decent range since he takes a step forward to do it. Only obvious downside is that it's a little slow. Forward 3 is a little slow, but it's a safe mid poke with an easily confirmable follow-up that can wall splat. Forward 3 got a damage buff in Season 4 as well, so it functions even better in that respect. Forward 4 is a safe I-17 homing mid that can go into Savage. It has an unsafe second hit in Forward 4 too, but it can wall splat, so if you're feeling confident, you can certainly let it rip. Forward 1+2 is a safe I-14 knockdown splatting high, free Savage 2 if it hits in the open, considerable pushback on block which sets it up nicely for whiff baits, so it can operate as both a chunky punisher or a big damage poke. Forward 2+3 is a very slow mid but huge active window and range. Safe no matter what, but it can offer plus frames on block at longer ranges. Knockdown or splat on hit, it's a very simple, easy way to get to range 0. Down forward 2 is a safe I-16 mid poke. Down forward 2-1 is normally reserved for punishing because of how unsafe it is, but down forward 2-2 and down forward 2 down 2 are both safe, mid-mid natural combos on counter hit, and both really hurt if they land. They are interruptible though, so be mindful of that. Down forward 3-2 is a safe mid-mid I-16 poke string. Strings like this are normally mid-high, so being mid-mid is a big deal. Down forward 4-1 is a safe I-14 mid-high natural combo that doesn't jail, can go to Savage, and has a third hit counter hit launch for cover. Down 2 is a safe I-18 chunky mid elbow, +4 on hit, knockdown on counter hit for a free grounded hit. Down 3 is a rangy, high crushing low poke with solid tracking to his left, +1 on hit, which is awesome, definitely slow but very useful. Down 4 is an I-16 low poke, no crush or evasion, but it has really good tracking and a second hit for cover that can go to Savage if they're not ducking it. Down 1+2 is a slow, long-range, chunky shove. It does crush highs and -12, but you can space it to make it a little bit safer. Down back 2 is a safe I-20 power mid, decent range, and will wall splat. Down back 3 is an I-18 low poke, +4 on hit, only -12, can go to Savage, and has a second hit for cover. +4 on a low poke is insane, so this is a great move. Down back 4 is another I-18 low, just a single hit, but still +2 on hit, or it can give a knockdown on counter hit for a free grounded hit. If you really want to be sexy, there's a small window where you can get forward 4-2-1 into a free savage down forward 2 for really big damage plus Oki. Back 2-2 is a safe I-16 high mid natural combo, ends in full crouch. Back 2 is now homing in season 4, so this is just an absolutely amazing string now. Back 3 is a rangy jumping mid, +7 to +9 on both block and hit, and it's a counter hit launcher. Very solid pressure tool. Back 4 is an I-19 wall bouncing power mid, -14 on block, but otherwise really good to scare people away from hitting buttons, especially at the wall. Up forward 1 is an I-25 jumping mid, +4-ish on block, knockdown and splat on hit, and can go to savage. Very similar to back 3 in that it's a simple way to start some easy offense. Good ol' hop kick. I-15 jumping mid launcher, -13 on block. Miguel's has a fat hitbox as well, so it's good for both panic moments and punishing. Forward 4-2 is an I-18 mid. It has 3 string options. Forward 4-2-1, which is a safe duckable mid-high natural combo that will knock down or splat. Forward 4-2-2, a -13 mid-mid natural combo that can also knock down or splat, and a cancel of forward 4-2-2 into full crouch by pressing down. Forward 4-2-1 and forward 4-2-2 are scary enough, especially at the wall, that forward 4-2-2 down becomes really valuable for running some full crouch mind games. Forward 4-3 is a safe, beefy homing launcher, a little slow, but it's more than fast enough to catch people stepping, especially if they're trying to mindlessly step against you dashing in. Back forward 1 is a safe knockdown high, super evasive, so excellent setup tool, free savage down forward 2 into Oki on hit. Miguel's rage drive is basically a beefed up version of his forward 4-2 string. It's an I-18 mid-mid launcher that's also +3 on block, so with rage he has yet another pressure tool. This brings us to the end of part 1. Hopefully this list was helpful and gives you a good idea on which moves you should be trying to use most often. You'll notice that this is shorter than most of our other essential move videos. Miguel doesn't have a large or complicated move list, which is a huge strength since that lets you focus on playing good fundamentals. In part 2, again, we'll talk a bit more about strategy and what a basic Miguel game plan might look like. And with that, thank you for checking out this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe here on YouTube. Also be sure to turn on notifications if you'd like to get alerted as soon as a new vid is uploaded. I also try to stream whenever I can, so the link to Twitch is down in the video description below. You will find Twitter and Facebook links down there too. Lastly, special thanks to our 3 patrons, Tato, Apples, and Overhaul. That support means a lot. Patreon is definitely the best way to support your favorite content creators, and the more support the channel gets, the more content I can afford to do. Stay safe everyone, and we'll see you next time.